Hey Joel,
Hi, Chris.
how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Good day.
Yeah, it's been fairly good. Busy, but sometimes that's good. It makes the day go a bit quicker.
You been out on site?
Yeah.
Well, fairs, mate. Well, firstly, appreciate you putting the time aside to jump on this call with me, mate. Really appreciate it. I'll just like for anyone that's going to be watching this in the future, just a quick intro, and then you can introduce yourself as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, basically, Joel, you joined the specialist program. Was it like 3 months ago or so? 4 months ago?
It was around, I think, yeah, a few months ago, yeah, 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your background, mate? What do you do for a living?
Current role, I'm a BMS engineer. Been doing that for a year and a half, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Before that, I was in building services. That role, or within the industry, probably about 7 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
What just like out of interest, mate, how did you come about like finding me and B automation and all of that?
um, I think I said on YouTube one time just to try and find something um that would help a bit more with sort of like the schematics because like obviously in building services and within the BMS industry, um, it's an important thing to learn and understand. And then yeah, I searched it on YouTube. And then I saw like a couple of your videos. Well, multiple. I was sort of just following, and this I saw a few, and I thought like what you were saying in the videos was very informative and a good sort of base knowledge. Um, then there one of your videos said about the schematic specialist. So then I just registered for that, the interest, and just took it from there. And then obviously I watched the short video that you had. Um, Sort of introduction to the course, what it entails and what you sort of be learning and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just sparked my interest and I just took it from there.
Yeah. So like back where you went before you jumped on the course, then you were specifically searching stuff on YouTube to like understand schematics better then.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that so that was kind of like what you were struggling with at the time then? Was it just understanding schematics or system as a whole? Like what were you trying to understand?
I think it's a bit of both. Um, because like, as a BMS engineer doing different sort of systems like that we work on, learning and understanding the schematics is like a, I would say it's a big part or an essential skill. Because sometimes you may come to panels that don't necessarily have the proper schematics, and it's just learning and understanding how the system works, how to follow it, how to do your like sort of fault finding, your due diligence, and how to follow things point per point. So like from the controller out to the sort of field devices. Um, so then yeah, it was a better understanding of sort of like the relays, the contactors, and just stuff like that.
Yeah. What as a BMS service engineer, like what do you get involved with like on a day to day?
On a day to day, like I said, anything from the control side of it, the strategy, um, finding out if there's problems with the system, like if there's a fault from, like I said, from the controller, the system telling the controller there's a fault, to opening up, looking in MCC panel, checking the relays, checking the panel itself, whether it's showing faults, just diagnosing problems like that. then tracing it out to the field devices, whether it be a sensor, a driver, or whatever components they're connected to, and just seeing if there's like a signal there, if you're getting
Yeah.
voltages, um, is it
Just
talking,
servicing.
etc. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, sorry, the
Servicing.
service side. Yeah, the service
Yeah.
side of things.
So yeah, so sort of like keeping systems up and running, and so like PPMs, like preventative.
Yeah,
Was it preventative something maintenance?
plan preventive maintenance.
Yeah, that's it. Um, and do you do breakdowns as well then?
Yeah, do call outs, breakdowns, and now and again to get into some of the small works of things like that clients might request or stuff like that, connecting and stuff to like Modbus and
Yeah,
BACnet and stuff like that.
yeah, okay. All right, man. That's really interesting to know. So yeah, why do you feel then like the business that you work for, like do they, and no, I'm not knocking anyone here, but why? Because I see this quite a lot where guys like yourself, they come on this training, but I wonder why you're not kind of getting the training in-house.
Um, that's a good question. I can't really necessarily speak for companies because it's not just the current one that I'm at. I don't know why they don't like sort of develop engineers in that way. Um, but for me personally, I'm the kind of person I'd like to know the system better, the system that I'm working on, sort of more in depth because it makes your job that easier. Um, having the knowledge of how things work and how they operate, and if you get into a sticky situation, you can kind of get out of it just knowing that bit more. So
Yeah,
for me, that's what it was. I didn't want to just um be sort of just a basic engineer, just say, okay, you know what, that's not working and blah blah blah, and that's it. Obviously, I like to know what the problem is and how can I solve it if that you understand what I mean.
yeah, mate. To be fair, that's probably I'm thinking back from my time as a service engineer when I was looking at schematics, and I think back then I wasn't of the mindset of kind of taking the responsibility and put it on me to actually learn things. I kind of expected the business to do it for me, and you're just kind of thrown into the deep end most of the time. You're kind of just left to figure it out. And
Yeah,
I suppose now looking at it as a business owner, you're like, well, the good people identify themselves,
yeah.
It's
Well, it's exactly that, and obviously, I think you touched on a couple of times when you was talking and um about the industry, and it can be funny, like in terms of um not everyone wants to share the knowledge. So sometimes people just like to be the smartest in the room and just not really
yeah,
sharing because um I don't know if it's out of fear or just that sort of mentality. Because if you're on a team, the more knowledge you can spread around the team, the better the team is. But obviously, some people like to be, yeah, just the one that everyone goes to. Or I don't know, they feel threatened that maybe that if you know more than them,
yeah,
their position might be under fire. But at the end of the day, if you are a good enough engineer or you're good at what you do, that shouldn't really matter. Um, yeah,
yeah, mate. I see it all the time. It's knowledge hoarders, and yeah, I think it is. It's they feel a little bit threatened. They feel
yeah,
threatened, like if they share with you that you're gonna go past them, and then like you might be the person that like the bosses above them go to for like advice or
yeah,
promotions. Like they fear that they'll no longer be the guy, that
yeah,
people go
yeah,
to. Um, but like this is the thing, like with senior leadership or managers, it's like you just said, it's the strength of the team as a whole. Like they shouldn't be this is my opinion, obviously, but like you
Yeah,
should be
yeah,
creating an environment where the team is the team and like everyone is helping each other and we're all leveling up together.
yeah, exactly that. But not to knock some businesses, but like some businesses feel threatened as well because if they train you up to whatever, then it there's an accountability there, isn't it? They may have to pay you more, or you
Yeah, that's
may
true. Yeah,
decide to go somewhere else, or do you know
yeah,
what I mean? So that's that side of things as well. They probably fear that as well, innit? Okay, we train him up and then you just go somewhere else. But
yeah,
that's not always the case. Yeah, there are some people that do that, but it's not always the case. If a good if the company is good enough and the environment is good enough, your engineers are going to want to stay, especially if you've helped them within their career.
yeah. That's it, man. Like they shouldn't. That's a good point, though. Like I think that is certainly the case that businesses don't want to invest in employees because yeah, they might yeah just invest in that employee and an employee goes off somewhere else or does their own thing and then potentially steals business off that business. But I think if you're a business, you should try and a good business, you should try and facilitate that growth
Yeah,
of your team, because that's what people, in my experience, they want. They want to be able to develop and learn more stuff and like take on more responsibility and earn more as they're doing it. And good businesses facilitate that.
yeah. Well, there should always be the option. Obviously, like not everyone wants to get better or
Yeah.
learn more, but the individuals that do want to do that, I think it is important to, like you said, invest in them because that's what will help your business because if they're providing a better service to your customers, to your clients. Um, yeah.
Yeah, mate, I hear you. Just going back to the program, like when you were like considering sort of getting involved with it, like did you have any initial concerns or hesitations that like maybe held you back from committing to do it initially?
Um, only a little bit in terms of like maybe how much I would have got out of it because I've like done electrical qualification before, but I was thinking, okay, how much more would I have learned from the course? But just doing electrical qualification doesn't necessarily mean that you then develop that sort of better understanding of the schematics, if you understand what I mean, because there are stuff in the schematics that just don't teach you. So like yeah.
So what is it that like made you in the end decide to pull the trigger and invest in the program and get on board?
Um a few things. Obviously, like I said, you yourself personally, how you've done your I don't know how to call it, your training slides or training videos. So I thought like the way you come across a very informative, nice person. This was like obviously before speaking to you,
Yeah.
and I just thought that I would get a lot, or probably maybe what I wanted out of it. Um, the only apprehension was, like you said, possibly just paying another course because I have in the past like done courses off my own back, and then it was just thinking like, okay, another one, and like I said, how much am I going to get out of it, etc., and all of that. But after sort of the initial thought and about it, yeah, I was just happy to do it. And then, as well, it was timing, to be honest.
Mm.
At first I thought, oh, okay, is it the right time to kind of start another course now? But yeah, I just had to. You just sometimes, like you said, just have to jump in the deep end and just swim.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you making that jump, mate. Like you mentioned, like, were you going to get what you wanted out of it? Like, can I ask what did you get out of it?
Um, a better understanding of schematics itself and the panels that we work on, um, from like a varied things like the low voltage circuits, the relays, the different poles, the cable labeling, routing, normally open close contactors, the safety circuits. Some of these I had like a sort of basic idea of them anyway, but it's just like what the course helped me with even more, like in terms of like the safety circuits, the boiler interlocks, things that plant affect the plant system from like the fire alarm, fire alarm panel, signal, pressurization units, yeah, just how the relays, energized coils, PSUs. I think that was like an important one I asked you about, and then you kind of explained it. Um, yeah, the power supply units from the AC to DC. Um, how the drawings, yeah, that's it. How the drawings are normally in like a non-energized state. So when you first look at
Yeah,
them, like you said, that you're reading it as non-energized, so just that sort of understanding in it. Because when you understand that, you know then what you're seeing on paper
yeah,
is
that's a
not
great point.
necessarily what you're seeing out in the field.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, just the field devices, cam switches, follow the schematics in terms of when it's in hand and to when it's in auto, and yeah, just yeah, better understanding of it to be honest.
that's a really good point, man, because that's something that you forget. Like, how it is really tricky to first get your head around, like everything's drawn non-energized, but then you've got to kind of visualize in your head like when things are energized in the real system, like how that's changing on the schematics to understand how that
Yeah,
how that works in the schematics, which is it's pretty tough, man. Like, would you say you've got your head around that now?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and especially like I said, things to do with the poles. Like, I don't think I've really understood before about the poles. Like a relay could, when it has a number of poles where it's affecting more than one thing.
Yeah,
If you understand what I mean. So like, it's not just about checking the first one. Okay, that's energized, but what does that affect further down the line, kind of thing.
yeah. Oh, that's cool,
So
man. That's good to know. So like with where like how are things different like from like where you're at now after being through the program, like comparing to where you were, like how does that feel in terms of where you're at now?
I would say a lot better because doing something like this and learning it gives you that bit more confidence as an engineer, or say when you are called for like a call out or reactive, then you feel more confident going into it because then you're like, okay, I understand things better. So if I come across a panel that I haven't been to before, it's got schematics, I can look through it and follow it that much quicker. So it will save time in that way as well. Because before, sort of like an engineer, you'd have to like maybe follow the cabling a bit more, then you have to go and check at the end point to make sure that it matches up with what's on the schematic and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say definitely confident and better skilled at doing that.
And if you had to choose like one thing, one element of the program that like just sticks out to you that really made an impact and helped you, what would you choose? What would you say?
One thing,
Yeah, if you had to
um,
choose one thing.
from the actual the course overall, or just the schematics itself? Because I think, like, to be honest, the way you all have done it, um, makes it that bit easier to understand. Um, I think that's important because sometimes you can do like courses or things that where it's harder to understand, and obviously, and the way you communicate with us during the course, checking up, see if anyone's having problems, and um, the Zoom calls just to kind of like touch base to see where people are. I think all of that's good because there we can ask you questions and things that we might be stuck on. Because I think a couple of times or a few times I asked you about certain things that I was a bit unsure of because just like the little things like the PSU and that you might see it in the schematic, but me being able to ask you like what is that or what does that mean, etc. Or even the knowledge, yeah, the knowledge that you kind of then gave across in terms of like the contact and the overload really is that just understanding things like that better because it's a lot harder to kind of then go out there and find out what it means. Um, yeah, I think from top to bottom, it's been a great experience because even with that, you had like the sort of manuals for the products that you were showing, the pictures of the panels, so then people can go away, look at that, look at and understand it a bit more what you're talking about because it's not just about okay looking at just a schematic. You got to try and understand what the components are. Um, and yeah, the pictures and everything, it helps. And even you saying as well, as being as when you're on site taking pictures and just referring back to that, like when you're on site, take pictures of how this works and how that works. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know if I could put it on just one thing, but yeah,
No, I appreciate that, mate. That's really, yeah, it's just really nice to hear. So thank you, Joel.
that's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right.
yeah, no, I really appreciate your time, mate. So thanks for taking the time out to do this. Really appreciate it, buddy. And I'll catch up with you again soon.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. One quick question I probably was meant to ask you before. You see, like the course and everything, can I put it on my LinkedIn?
Yeah, mate. Sure. Yeah, of course you can.
And like if I do, would you be able to endorse it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Did you get um did you get the certificate at the end as well?
Um,
You should have got an email. If you completed all the lessons and it's like everything's
yeah,
100% complete, you should have got a certificate sent through with your name on.
I think
Which
I did. I'll just have to. I'd have to double check, but I
yeah.
think I did.
But yeah, mate, look, just give me a shout, email, text me, call me if you want me to endorse you on anything.
Yeah,
Like genuinely, you deserve it, man. So yeah, let me know.
yeah. No, obviously it'll be a good thing as well. Like for you as well, just to like so people see. Okay, this is a course, and then if they ask, I say, yeah, it's great. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great.
And then tell them what I took from it, what I learned from it, because it is something. It's a valuable skill, a very valuable skill, to be honest. Um, and just like we touched on earlier, it would help certain businesses if they did invest in it.
Yeah, I think so. Where do you want to go like next? So you're doing like service engineering now, BMS industry. Like where do you want to go now?
Um, I think maybe next stage touch on commissioning, possibly, but yeah. The thing is, at the company I'm at now, we work on different systems. So it's developing those as well, to be honest. I think that's why I know some other companies, they just sort of specialize in like maybe one or two. We do quite a few, and then it's just developing and getting better at those. And then, like I said, possibly taking it on to commissioning and maybe some project work.
Yeah,
But I enjoy what I do, and yeah, just like another step and just don't look back, just
that's
look
it, mate.
forward. Um, yeah, yeah,
Oh well, mate, I really appreciate your time, Joel. Thank you.
that's all right. That's all right. I'm glad I can help out, and yeah, I know I ain't really been too on the emails, but yeah, sometimes
That's
life
all right.
just get busy, and then I see an email and it's like 101 things to do.
Mate, I'm behind a desk all day, so it's easy for me to do emails. Like for I know what it's like being out on site. It's tough doing that side of things. So yeah, don't worry about it.
That's all right. That's all right.
Anyway,
But
mate.
yeah, definitely stay in touch, and yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
anything. Yeah, I don't mind you reaching out again, and yeah, we just yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, Joel. Well, definitely I'll do that and let me know about that LinkedIn thing if you need endorsing or anything. Happy to do that.
All right then, Chris. Thanks.
All right, mate. Take it easy.
All right, you too. Yeah, see
Cheers.
ya.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.